Guys, that's your command today. Reach out Legends with another champion guide, this time on Ghostborn. And Morpheus, my man. There's actually two of you guys in the comments every day. Actually, more than that. Nathan, shout out. Morpheus, Nathan. Maybe it is only two guys, right? Every day I hear from you guys asking for a Ghostborn guide. Playmaker, the same thing. A lot of you guys, a popular request for an old school champion inside the game who's still got it. You know what the thing is? Shout out to Prince as well. Shout out to all of you guys. A lot of you guys wanting a Ghostborn. I guess there's not an updated guide out there. 2 or 3 years is the last one on YouTube as a whole. So let's talk about Ghostborn. What do you say, guys? Very cool champion. I'll tell you what, Ghostborn, I want to say, was the 3rd legendary I ever pulled. It's funny how you remember these things. You always remember your first, right? Is there anybody watching who doesn't remember their first legendary champion? That's what I want to know. Ghostborn was mine. And this dude, he's a pretty dang cool champion. First of all, that's the good news, right? He's very special, very unique. And let me just come out the gate and say about Ghostborn is, he's a unique and special champion because there's so many different ways to build him, so many different types of teams to utilize him on, and we're going to get to all of that in today's video. So he's a support champion, Spirit Affinity, Dark Elf. On his A1, Energy Bolt attacks one enemy, and then it has a 100% chance when booked of placing the big version of decreased defense. That's really nice against bosses for a specific reason, which we'll get to when we talk about his A3. So keep that in mind. A 100% decreased defense, big version A1, great. An AoE on a 3-turn cooldown on Petrify. It's an AoE with a 100% chance of placing the big version of heal reduction on a 3-turn. And then Ancestral Spirits is his signature ability, his A3. Attacks all enemies, so another AoE attack. 100% chance to place the big version of decreased defense for 2 turns. Cannot be resisted. The only champion in the game with a decreased defense on an AoE that can't be resisted. Actually, increased attack, by the way, on all allies for 2 turns as well. A nice little sneaky addition to his kit. And it's on a 4-turn cooldown, which is why, as we said, with bosses on a 4-turn cooldown, that's not going to help us out that much. That's why it's nice that he has the 100% on the A1 for bosses. On waves, he's got the AoE. Usually in 2 turns, we can kill somebody in the arena or in most areas. Not like super high areas of Doom Tower, but in most areas, it's going to be enough to kill everybody with a 2-turn decreased defense that can't be resisted. Thus, we don't need to build him with accuracy to pull off this decreased defense. We do need accuracy for the heal reduction and for the decreased defense on his A1. He has accuracy and faction crips by 65. I want to say, is there now another champion in the game who has the same ability, an allele? Removes increased defense on each target and replaces them with decreased defense. Okay. So this is only if they have an increased defense, because this can't be resisted as well on allele, but I take it all back. It's still Ghostborn because this is predicated on them actually having increased defense on in order to land that. So yeah, Ghostborn is still an incredibly unique champion. And these niche abilities like that, it seems kind of niche, right? The decreased defense that doesn't require accuracy. I think for new players, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself, as when I was a new player and I pulled him my 3rd or 4th legendary, I just didn't respect how awesome that is, that ability, right? I'm like, yeah, okay, it's on a 4-turn cooldown, meh. I think I thought something like that, you know? But what it does is, having the non-resist is a couple things. Number one is, it allows you to run him anywhere in any type of build and be able to ignore accuracy for his A3 and still land it. Let me put it this way. You know, the very high resist dungeons like Iron Twins, where you need like 500, 600 accuracy on the end stages. Well, you can have, you know, 0 accuracy and still land it against anything, right? Increased resistance, whatever. You're still going to land it, which is very valuable. And then it also allows us to build him, you know, in so many different ways. I'm going to show you the way that I use him, and it's probably the least popular way that you could use this champion, but I think it proves my point that it's in the eye of the beholder on this champion, right? Like, you can work with him. There's no right or wrong way. You work with this champion to build him to suit the needs of wherever you want to use him, wherever you can use a skill set like this. So I know what you're thinking, shield set, Ash? Really, bro? Well, listen, Relentless or Reflex works good on this champion because in an ideal world, we would be able to bump this down to a 3-turn cooldown. Perception sets do work well on this champion because, for me, a lot of people just build them to ignore accuracy altogether, but I really do value that heal reduction. I think the heal reduction is certainly not the best debuff in the game. It's one of the worst ones, but it's still useful. And honestly, oftentimes you don't even recognize, or it's hard to identify, especially if you have it on auto in the background, all the times it can come in handy against like those Doom Tower waves and stuff like that, right? With all those healers out there. Anyway, weirdly enough too, he's one of the few champions in the game whose damage is scales on speed on that A2, right? So anyway, we can build him however we want. I have him in a shield set, not because I need a shield champion on the team that I use him on. It's because I use them on a seer activation team. And on seer activation teams, all you really need sometimes is just one shield set on the squad. So on Ice Golem Hard 10, which I'll show you the run of in just a moment, I use him as somebody who no one's going to be able to resist his decreased defense. And at the same time, he's empowering Seer with this shield set. So I'm getting some double utility out of this champion. And that's the only area that I personally use him in outside of Faction Wars as well, because he's a good damage dealer. But let me tell you another way you could build this champion. If you just wanted a super reliable decreased defense champion for the arena, what you can do is build him to be an all-out nuker. The cool thing about this dude that we haven't talked about yet is 18.8 on the HP. 1,200 on the attack, and then 1,100 on the defense with 101 speed. The good news is those are really great numbers, especially the defense. Having an 1,100 and then also a 1,200 to be a nuker, like, you'd be surprised at how many champions don't have these two numbers, right? So these scales, what I'm trying to say is you can scale him very well to also be a nuker, and his abilities actually smack for a support champion. First of all, this is hellhades.com. Look at where they rank this dude, man. Dragon 4.5, Spider 5-star, Spider hard mode, regular mode 5-star, 4-star, 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 Doom Tower 4.5-star, Doom Tower bosses, Frost Spider 4-star. We get a 3.5, a 3.5, a 4, 4, 4, Dark Fate, Griffin, Dragon, godlike decreased defense, damage great. I mean, he's bringing a lot to the table. His multipliers are a 4.5 on the A1, very good. Especially even considering his base. And then we have a 2-time multiplier, but plus the speed on the A2. And it's hard to figure out the multipliers on that. Is it a 2 AoE multiplier and the speed divided by 100? I guess that's what it is, right? That's what it says. So it says average. I've actually found Petrified to hit pretty dang hard. Granted, what do we have him at right now? We have him pretty fast, around 250 speed, 248. On the A3, a 3.8 multiplier. Again, we have the luxury of building this dude to be like an arena debuffer and nuker at the same time. And that's because we don't have to focus it all on accuracy, right? So here, I don't have him to build for damage because I don't need the damage on where I'm using him. But I'm going to rebuild him to be an arena nuker. Let me just show you quickly his blessing and his mastery recommendations. Masteries, I kept it really simple here, guys. We went with the crit rate, the crit damage. We came down. We picked up War Master. I'm wondering why I went kill streak and not methodical. This is actually an old mastery build. You know what? Let's reset it for free. Screw it, right? Screw it. All right. I want to go offense. I still want to pick up that crit rate, crit damage on this champion. I'm going to come down the left-hand side. Instead of picking up kill streak, I'd rather just go methodical, get more damage out of his A1 because it hits hard anyway, right? And I'd rather go with a War Master that way. I will go support tree because, again, I do like the accuracy on this dude. Granted, I don't use the accuracy in Ice Golem, which I just referenced, but I do use the accuracy against the Red Boss and Faction Wars. So I'll go ahead and use Swarm Smiter, not to mention, you know, the heal reduction and whatnot. I could easily use this dude in Doom Tower ways if I wanted to, if I didn't have like a perfectly optimized Seer activation with 2 reset champions and a Kaimar and a Yameko on the team, right? But if I didn't have all that, I mean, he's great against those higher level mobs with higher resistance and for damage. By the way, I talked about Relentless. I talked about Reflex on this champion. I talked about a shield set on this champion, Perception on this champion. What else? How about a stun set? He's got a 3-turn cooldown and a 4-turn cooldown AoEs. I mean, he's a great option for a stun set as well, guys. So see the flexibility that I'm talking about? You can make him a control champion. I would run a stun set on higher level Doom Tower floors if I was using Ghostborn to just get more utility out of those difficult waves. Anyway, Lure Steel is not going to help us out tremendously here. We only have one basic set on him, but I will take it nonetheless. I'm also going to go with Eagle Eye, and then I'm going to go with Master Hexer to extend the duration of the decreased defense, extremely valuable. And then, oddly enough, he has 100% land rate on all of his abilities. Heal reduction, decreased defense A1 and A3. There's no need for Sniper in this kit, so we're not going to pick it up. Now we can just fill things out. I'll go Life Drinker to get a little bit of healing in there. I think I'll go Spirit Haste. Get a little bit extra out of him when allies are dead. And then I think I'm going to go with Heart of Glory. So, this is a very chalk-like, if you will, Mastery selection. Nothing too profound here at all. I would say instead of Life Drinker, you consider going with Arcane Celerity. He's bringing, a decent amount of debuffs to the table. So, I mean, that does make sense to go in that direction as well, if you want to consider that. I think I'd probably go Arcane Celerity over Life Drinker now that I think about it, but it's not the end of the world either way. In terms of blessings on this champion, again, this is the reoccurring theme with Ghostborn. It is your choice how you're using this champion, right? Obviously, Intimidating Presence. What I'm trying to do is it's a champion who has a very niche value. I'm trying to extract as much value as humanly possible from this champion. Again, vis-a-vis that toxic set, that provokes, and maybe not provokes set, but that stun set, right? That shield set, right? I want to get a little bit more out of this dude, right? Obviously, with 18k HP, a shield set, we're not doing it for the shield, we're doing it for the seer activation, to be clear there. Anyway, same thing with Intimidating Presence, right? You should always try to have one on your team if you can, if you're lucky enough to have any awakened legendary. And it makes perfect sense. We get extra survivability and defense and HP and resistance. If you're lucky enough to have a 6-star, you get speed, defense, resistance. And then we get a nice aura strengthen as well, right? So you could go in that route. You could go with Temporal Chains if you want to. It's going to decrease enemy speed and turn meter every time they receive an active buff. I think this is a good arena option for this champion. However, I will say, if you want to build them all out nuke and no accuracy, well, keep in mind that is going to be a factor. You need to have accuracy to land Temporal Chains after the nerf to it. You could go with Soul Reap if you're trying to get that Grim Reaper, trying to get extra damage there, right? You could go with Cruelty, couldn't you? Decrease target's defense per hit. You could go with Crushing Rend, right? Ignoring the target's defense. So there's so many different options. Me personally, Crushing Rend, I tend to reserve for either arena nukers that I don't want to go Soul Reap on, or I'll reserve that for champions that are 6-star, if I'm lucky enough to have a 6-star awakening, because every hit will ignore a percentage of the target's defense. That's very, very, very powerful. It's one of the most powerful blessings in the game at 6 stars, Crushing Rend. But before that, it's really relegated, in my opinion, to PvP, right? Because it's the first hit of the round. It's the first hit of the round. First 2 hits of the round at 5 stars. But when it's every hit, forever, ignoring defense, 1 defense percentage for every 10 levels, then you can absolutely just decimate and destroy everything in PvE. I'm lucky enough to have a seer with a 6-star Crushing Rend. You'll see her in just a moment. It's absolutely insane, the difference that it makes. Okay, we talked about everything. I haven't showed you the gear real quick. HP on the banner. I need a little bit of survivability on this champion at one point, and I never switched it out. But we're not looking for damage because it's going to be a fast run. But we'll rebuild him, though. We'll rebuild him. Crit damage on the amulet. We have HP on the ring. We have speed on the boots. We have attack percentage on the chest. And we have crit damage with a trip speed on the gauntlets. A real hodgepodge that doesn't make a lot of sense because, again, you'll see, it will make sense once I actually run him right now. But then we're going to do a quick rebuild, and I'll just show you him really quickly in the arena in terms of the type of options you could have with this champion. So this is stage hard 10, and check out how much, just one, all we're bringing here is what, 1 shield buff? Okay, my bad. We have a few buffs on the team. But look at Seer, man. Oof, 1.2 million damage. And it's all made possible by, obviously, some buffs, but 12 seconds, level what, 350 or something mobs? Now he's gonna die, though. Now he's gonna die. Maybe not that nuke, but the next one. But it's okay because we have Walking Tomb Dragon, we have Elva to duo Cliosis, Corrupted Cliosis? Whatever you say. Does it say it in here? Let's see. Tainted Cliosis? Whatever. Ice Golem. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. So now that we only have two left champions left. Ooh, Elva gets very, very, very low there, but luckily she can heal herself back up in no time with that A1 continuous heal. But yeah, after this it's just a duo. So again, it's a very niche role that I'm using him in there. But what I want to do, again, is build him the way that I used to have him as well. And that is as a kind of arena debuffer, also great for faction wars and Doom Tower waves. Same thing goes with any of the Doom Tower bosses that we've already mentioned in today's video. So this Ice Golem is almost done. I think that Walking Tomb Dragon is... I mean, who do you guys like better than Walking Tomb Dragon against Ice Golem hard? Any stage. I love my man Walking Tomb Dragon. He's one of my favorite burners in the game. He might be my favorite burner in the game. But anyway, I think we've already had a guide out on him, so you can check that out if you want to learn more about Walking Tomb Dragon and the areas that I use him in the game. The nice thing is he has that activating HP burn, so every time he goes in with that A1, you'll see that health go down quite a bit, so long provided he's attacking somebody under burn, as he just did there. So I think one more kind of sequence here, and we should have the job done. There it is. HP burn lands. We come in here A1 a little bit, and we're going to get the job done. So I think what we're going to do, guys, is rebuild him to be a nuker, a debuffer / nuker, but we could put him in that stun set too. That's kind of fun. Now that I say that, I think either Savage Lethal or Stun might be the way to go. I'm a big fan, ever since Mighty Uko, who's the best at it, I'm a big fan of sneaking in a stun set in the arena. You know, it's a sneaky move. It's very annoying to get your champion stunned. And the reason I keep mentioning stun with Ghostborn, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to throw him in a stun set right now. The reason I keep mentioning it is because stun also, obviously, does not need accuracy. So now you're getting you don't need accuracy to land the stun. If they have 900 resistance, you'll still land the stun. And if they have 900 resistance, you're still going to land the decreased defense as well, right? So let's go ahead and see what we have available for stun set gear right now, guys. I'm pretty sure I have to go equipped because we don't have... let's just see. Let's just see. I don't know about you guys, but I like trying to use the gear that I don't have equipped first. I'm just going to... you know what? No. I was going to let you guys go, but I'm going to go equipped, and I'm going to go substats. I want speed, because I need him to go first. He's my debuffer. And I want crit rate. So let's build him as probably just steal a lot of Skull Crown's gear here. So let's go there. If I can keep the gauntlets and the shield on him, I will. Skull Crown, sorry. We're stripping you naked, Skull Crown. I'm sorry. All right, what do we need? Boots? Chest and boots. Chest, what do we have? Resistance. We'd rather have an accuracy chest on... no, we don't need accuracy, Ash! We'd rather have an attack percentage, excuse me, chest on him. And we have one from Bellower. Let's just steal it. Okay? And then we need boots on this dude. Obviously, they're not going to be substat speed boots, Ash. So let's go ahead and pick up Bellower. We've already robbed you. Let's go there. And let's see what we have for stats here. We're quite a bit low on the crit rate. So let's go ahead and find a different shield. Let's put priority stats as crit rate high. We're never going to get there with this amount of crit rate. What do we have on this? Crit rate 3, crit rate 1. Okay, I'll be right back when I fix it. All right, guys, I didn't want to strip my most used champions of their gear, so listen up, okay? I need to get 100% crit rate. You really want 100% crit rate on anybody who's going to be doing damage for you, especially in the arena. It's very important. Even 96, you really want to strive for 100. But hopefully you'll be patient with me. I don't want to go all out 100 because I don't want to strip gear off champions that I'm going to be using all the time and then go try to find the gear. So do as I say, not as I do. I do want to go ahead and replace his ring and his banner as well because we're min-maxing his damage, guys. We want to go ahead and make sure that we're getting as much attack on this champion as humanly possible. So let's go ahead and let's see, do we have anything good here? Not really. Let's just equip and upgrade here. This is an attack ring. You can see the stats up here. We get a 1-roll attack. Let's take it to 16, and let's go ahead and I don't know, use a 4-star glyph on that. Hey, we get the 4 on the 4. Sign me up. Get a little bit of defense here as well. Might as well, right? Might as well. All right, let's end it there. And then on the banner, let's see what we have. Do we have attack with a lot of speed is the big question, and the answer is we do. Check out this banner right here, guys. We got attack with 2 speed and attack percentage. Sign me up. That's perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. I also want to ascend it just to see what we get here. Hey, get a little accuracy. We don't really need it, obviously, but we'll take it. I'm not going to use a speed glyph. They're so good, those haste glyphs. But I will use a attack because this is a really good banner. Oh, come on. Okay, I'll take 3. I'll settle for 3. I'll get a little bit of HP as well. All right, so hey, not too bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at his total stats here now. We're at 264, 96, 210 with 4,300 on the attack. Not too bad. What I would do as well is I would rebuild this Masteries. In fact, I'm going to. Now we're going to go with an arena build on this champion. I'm going to keep the support tree basically the same, but I'm going to build him in a total nuker layout here. So we're going to go with Ruthless Ambush. We're going to go with Opportunist. I'm not sure who I'm going to pair him with yet. Single Out, Bring It Down, Kill Streak, and Helm Smasher. And then we're going to go with... yeah, might as well go with Methodical as well. And then we're going to go, let's see. I don't think I need the heal reduction. We're going to switch things up. We're going to go with defense. We're going to go with blast proof. I think it makes more sense for an arena build to go down the defense tree personally. We're not placing any of the... wait, actually, you know what? Let's go with Harvest Despair. Try to get a leech or 2 instead of Delay Death. I think that in a stun set, might as well go Harvest Despair. We're placing stuns from our artifacts. Sign me up. We'll go with, in case the enemy team goes first and they nuke us down and an ally is hit with a critical hit, we're going to go with Cycle Revenge to boost him up in the turn meter. That way he can go next and debuff the enemy team. Make sense? All right, so now we got him in the nuking build. We're ready to go. He's got his Helm Smasher. He's got a little bit of crit damage, a little bit of crit rate. All right, Ghostborn, what do you got here? A little bit of a longer video than we typically do here on the channel because, well, a lot of requests for this dude. Let's put him on this team. I don't know. Oh, we were using Newt as a, let's go ahead and, I don't know, let's switch things up a little bit, guys. I feel like I always go with the same champions lately. Let's go with Yannicka. Where is she? Right in front. Yeah, let's go with Yannicka because they're both Spirit Affinity. We'll try to find a Force Affinity team. And let's take the Man of the Hour, Ghostborn, in here. We don't need Madame Ceres anymore, so let's put like a Kymar in there just to remove buffs. And CC the enemy team as well. So, Affinity is just 3 voids here, but I just want to kind of test out his damage. So now we have a 2-nuker squad and the debuffer. I'm going to come in here, put them to sleep. Now we're going to wake them up. Boom! 30, 40k damage. I don't know, some of you guys, it might not sound like much, but it's very good from a debuffer, considering they cannot resist at the same time, right? Let's go ahead. So this is nice. Perfect Veil in this chamber 3 turns. If the attack is critical, extra turn. Well, let's just go for Arbiter. Critical, extra turn, 110. And now the nuker. Elven Justice. Boom. And there we go. All right, let's try again here, guys. Let's try again. Let's go after a... okay, look at this. Force, force, force. Perfect team to attack using the team that we have selected, right, guys? Except for Kymar. But let's see if we can get a couple sleeps in. Yep. We will go with, again, check it out. We have no accuracy, but everybody's under decreased defense. You gotta love it. Let's go ahead and go in on the UDK. Come in here, Elvin, our nuker, perfect setup. Everybody has decreased defense. They can't resist it. That could have been a high resist team too. Let's try to find a high resist team, a team that we think is actually super tanky. That's going, this is like the perfect use case for this champion. Is, okay, right here, right in front of us. They have 100 resist aura. And then they have, you know, obviously, I imagine they have high resist on these champions. A very tanky team, defense-based. Sign me up. So now this is beautiful. We can come in here. We can come in. And the really cool thing is, right? Let's say we didn't have an arbiter setting everybody up. Say we had another champion, you know? He's also bringing the increased attack. So he can set up and set the table for your nuker beautifully. He's got not only the nuke, a little bit of damage there, a stun on Valkyrie, sign me up. Who do I want to get rid of? Normally I want to, does it really matter? We're going to kill everybody no matter what. Let's go after their reviver and then come in here with a big girl nuke. Boom. And again, I mean, that should have been much more difficult. But we stunned Valkyrie thanks to the stun set. And everybody resist, even with the high resist lead. This is a way that you can use Ghostborn as almost a flex position inside the arena. Hey guys, I'm not done with you yet. Faction Wars, I have Dark Elves. Let's go ahead and just build him, just put him in this squad. All out nukage with a couple debuffers in here. Wait, Marinix has decreased defense as well. Might be a little overkill to also have Lydia. So let's put Ray in there instead. Hopefully we stay alive without, I think that's why we had Lydia in there, actually. I think we were dying. But let's go ahead and put Foley in there for Dirindil and attack in all battles. And let's go all out nuke and see what we can do. All right? I don't know how we're going to do on this, but Red Boss might take us down, but let's see. This is an OP team, man. I hate Black Knight. I hate when champions just use their best ability. Lydia just started with her A2 on auto against him. If there's one champion left with no HP, everybody should just auto A1. No? Like, that's a cheap move, Plarium. All right, luckily we were able to cycle a couple turns out of that mess. And here we go. Arrow, we block his skills. That's fantastic. We come in here with Poison Rain. Come in there. Here comes Ghostborn. He's up. No, did he already go? I missed his turn. But either way, Foley has something to say about everything. He's like, bye, everybody. Ancestral Spirits, now he debuffs at the very end, of course. But here we go against the Red Boss. Decreased defense. It is landing against those minions. We don't have a lot of accuracy on him right now. That was his A1. Now he's feared. We don't have any cleanser on the team. Do you guys think... I think with Lydia on the team, we should be able to do this. Without her, though, I think we just get smoked. This Red Boss hits pretty hard, even against endgame, you know, but we have all attack-based champions, you know. Anyway, so he goes in there again with that A1. We do have that decreased defense on there. Of course, you know, Lydia's bringing that to the table as well. But Ancestral Spirits comes in there, hits pretty hard for an AoE. And then, oh, Foley, dude, the star of the show. But Ghostborn, you know, it's worth noting, Foley absolutely decimated. He's +4 empowered and fully awakened, so note that. But Marinix 222, Xavier 325, Ghostborn outdamages both of them, you know? Not too bad, right? And I didn't notice if he pulled off any stuns there as well, but, you know, kind of extrapolate this to Doom Tower and how he would have performed there as well. Guys, I hope you've liked this guide on Ghostborn. We covered a lot about this champion. The number one word when you think of Ghostborn, though, is flexibility to how you need or want to use this champion on your specific teams. You can be like me in a shield set, put him in a stun set. Heck, if you want to min-max even more damage from this champion, go with Savage or Lethal Gear as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, guys.